It is the Riot on RadioU.
Welcome to our podcast. We're hopefully glad you're excited because we're back after 2 days. Obi was on vacation the last 2 days, so there was no Worst of Riot podcast.
That's right. So right now I'm digging through because, you got to use FileZilla.
You're digging through what did we decide to share with everybody today?
Yeah, so all right. Now I can tell you that we will be taking a look at the Jared Marc interview in today's podcast.
So if you're a fan of RadioU music, we're the Riot on RadioU. So normally when you hear us on the radio, there's music with us. Jared's from a band called Euvoia, and he's doing now stuff under Jared Marc. So we'll catch up with him to see what he's doing.
So if it said that it was going to be on the desktop, is there a reason why it wouldn't show up here? Anybody knows?
You don't have to worry about that.
Well, you guys should be worried. If I can't figure this out, there's not going to be any Jared Marc on your podcast.
You're not going to have anything. This will be the only part of the podcast.
The only thing here. So let's see. We got that. We're also going to be talking about my just terror of oversleeping for all mankind, virtual reality, Marie Kondo.
Something new with, I guess, a new book she has.
The WWE.
It's essential letters.
Trump bucks.
Uh-huh.
I left. We talked about that roughly 18 times on the show today, and I just kept it to 2.
2, that's fine.
Yeah. There's other stuff. Fast food delivery, yelling, things of that nature. But.
So don't forget to check us out if you want to watch Jared's interview as well. If you go to RadioU Riot or RadioU on either Facebook page, you can watch our interviews too.
Sure can. So you guys enjoyed today's podcast, and
thank you for listening.
We'll just be here.
Have a good day.
Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
I've been gone for 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days. That's not that. That's really awesome, but it's not like it's that long.
Maybe it feels longer since it was a weekend too.
But I want you to know that I basically spent the entire night terrified that I was going to oversleep.
To miss the show?
It's ridiculous. And I kept saying to myself, what is wrong with you? Like, it's the same alarm. It's set. It's gone off so many times.
You've trusted it before.
Why can't you? I had nightmares about it. I had this nightmare that some band was camping on my lawn, and for some reason they made me late. And so I went out and screamed at them for making me late. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, you were a little anxious about that.
Well, I made it.
You made it and you weren't late.
I wish that, this version of myself could talk to that version and be like, look, you did it. Hey!
I wonder where all that came from.
I have no idea. But I was so worked up. I woke up at 2 a.m. and I almost was like, you know what? I'll just go in. I
can't stand this.
I got some stuff I could do. I'll just make some coffee and it'll be fine. And it was like, no, you can't. It's too early. Sleep more. And it's like, well, we can't. What if we ever sleep?
It was anxious about missing it, not just excited about coming in.
You know what?
They feel sometimes the same.
You feel free to write in.
Take it however we want.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on RadioU.
So, all right, Nikki, you ready?
Yeah.
You should be getting your Trump bucks today.
So what time? I need more than that.
Oh, my
gosh.
What
time are we supposed to be getting it?
What time?
Should it be? It's not there yet. I know some people got it yesterday.
Okay, here's what I got.
Hudson got his.
Did he come in smoking a cigar? Just
he's smoking money. He's just burning cash.
It's a dried money cigar. Just well, now that I'm flush with cash.
I don't think he actually did that.
I'm going to buy everybody a chili dog at Sonic for lunch.
He is a big spender.
He loves Sonic. So was it the chili dogs or is it the corn dogs? He likes the dogs.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I wonder which one it was.
And if we all go at the right time on the right day, happy hour. Hey. Trump bucks, baby. I'm back.
He's back in the drive-thru.
He's back.
And I know others have seen a few on Facebook.
Jim just texted he got his.
Jim.
Well, here's what we got. Today, about 80 million people will receive their stimulus payment.
Just at random times. You never know.
Yeah. So it says if you don't receive it by Wednesday, you can check on it at irs.gov. If you received an electronic
money back from your taxes.
Yeah,
which I did.
Then you should be able to get it in the mail. My thing is though,
you mean deposited?
I'm sorry,
not in the mail.
No,
here's the reason. Do the mail.
Here's the reason I'm saying that because I personally, I have paid the last 2 years. I've paid in. I actually save extra money every month so that I can just pay whatever's left on my tax bill.
But they have your account information,
well, that's what I'm wondering. So, like, I paid electronically. So, does that mean that
you should be good?
They can give it back to me?
Listen, let's just keep it positive, guys. If you haven't gotten it yet, I'm sure today's the day.
And I'll just tell you, Nikki, that there is an app that is launching later this week. I don't know if it's there yet, but iOS and Android is getting something called the Get My Payment app.
Oh, so you can find out again? But you can just go to the site. What was it?
IRS.gov. They said that you want to make sure that you have either your 2018 or 2019 taxes available.
Oh, look, I don't have them with me. Don't have them today.
I'm storing mine in the cloud.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Yeah, but I guess there's information there that you'll need to verify that it's you, and then you can look into it. But
Can I just use one of those... click on the square showing the kitten eating ice cream. Just a couple of those. And then that'll verify it's me. Not a robot.
Select the cubes that contain a stoplight.
You're like, wait, I think there's one in this back corner.
No, that's it. There's always that
like,
one
that?
where you're like, I mean, that's like, is that the bottom of a stoplight? I can't tell. I'm going to have to do this again.
Now, if you are still looking for your stimulus check, they're saying do not call. So that's just we wouldn't do it anyways, but some of us are so desperate for some human interaction that you might just be tempted.
Well, that's what I told the IRS last year. I was like, hey, you'll get your check. Do not call.
Don't call me.
They had a very different reaction to it.
Well, now they're saying you're not allowed to call. That's not how you can find out.
Not allowed to call.
So we'll find out today.
So much for a free country.
Did you get yours yet?
No.
No, okay. We're going to get it at the same time.
Is it? Okay. Don't hate me, but whatever.
I know, but this was what I was looking forward to today. You know how we're supposed to just pick some big moments each day?
Yes.
So we have this. We have Jared. He's joining us. We got an after show with Mike Maines.
Right.
We got our statement pieces for the day. That was one of them.
Today has 3 pillars.
Yes. Yeah, and maybe dinner. So that's 4 pillars today.
I'm getting my Trump bucks, and I'm door dashing.
So that was what we were looking forward to today. I just like to check off the list.
I totally get it. I do.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
So in these trying times, Nikki has become more than just a casual fan of food delivery. She has become a proprietor.
Well, I feel like I'm doing my part. You know, you got to help. You got to help. Not too much, but you got to help. It is a balance.
Not too much. You know, I'm injecting money into the economy by purchasing these deliveries.
And, you know, they leave it on the porch.
They do.
You want to make sure to be as safe as possible, and you want to tip well.
Yeah. Well, Nikki, I have here a class action lawsuit that was filed in Manhattan this week. They say that Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, and Uber Eats are colluding to raise prices.
With the restaurants?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, none of those companies are good. Meaning, like, morally, I don't think. And they've always been known for that for quite some time.
Morally, they're not.
They're, like, corrupt. And that has been since the beginning of
time.
Oh, yeah. They mess up the restaurants. They're not paying the drivers enough. And I know they're trying to make it seem like they are here for the community during this time. And they're paying more out than they should. But I still think they're bad. But I can't help it. I can't help it.
I can't. I need it.
Basically, their fees are so much of what they require from a restaurant, especially restaurants who weren't really set up until this stay-at-home stuff, blew up.
Right.
They weren't quite ready, so they had to go with all these companies. And
so they couldn't negotiate good deals?
Exactly. Like, they're just not getting a good deal, so that raises the price of the food, which means a person might not go with your restaurant or be upset at your brand or your restaurant because, the prices aren't really supposed to be that high.
That's what they all say.
Well, no, it's true, because you look through, you're like, that is not that much money if you've eaten there before.
Guys!
But they're taking a lot from places.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so what's your cutoff for you? Like, what's a delivery fee?
I want to look for a 0 delivery fee. So then that way...
Doesn't that just mean the driver's getting shorted? Does that mean
No, because then you tip more with the driver. That's a separate payment.
Okay.
Because that happens even after. You can change your tip payment anytime you want to until it's, gone through.
Well, Nikki, that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to sue because of how bad it is. Would you, if I gave you the option right now to sign up for this lawsuit?
What?
Would you sign up?
Well, I'm not a restaurant. It's only for restaurants, right?
I don't know. What as a person? Let's say
as
you're a person. Would you sue these companies because their price is gouging?
I would be an advocate over there.
Nikki's like, wait. Okay, does that mean that I get money?
What if they're mad at me?
But the thing is, like, can I continue to use their services during this lawsuit? Because if I can't, I'm not going to be able to sign up.
I'm real tired of drive-through stuff. I want to get something else.
You know what I did? I went into a coffee shop in my town. I walked in.
You can?
To get coffee, yeah. Because you can do coffee carry out. And I was like, you know what? Whatever.
I'm
going in. Cover me, Porkins. So I got my coffee and I was like, well.
You're doing it wrong. You're supposed to have it delivered to your step.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So it'd be nice and cold and overpriced.
You're right.
That's how we're supposed to be doing this.
You're right. You know what? I don't like paying people to do something I can do. Because I feel like I should be paying myself, a.k.a. just saving the money, because I don't have any money anyway. But you get it.
It's no big deal.
Good for a king. To be clear, this is why the ice dispenser in my fridge still doesn't quite work.
Thought you tried to fix it yourself.
Sometimes it works.
And sometimes it doesn't?
Yeah.
Maybe the riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, Manny texted you.
Yeah.
He wants to know if you got your stimulus check. Have you checked in the last 2 minutes?
No, not since we talked about it last. Let's go look together.
Okay, you know what? I'll look too.
Let's see if we have it yet. We did not when I woke up this morning.
Okay, logging in. It says we're logging you in. It won't take long, and yet we're still waiting.
Uh-oh, why is it taking so long? Maybe it's because they're putting it in right now.
That's probably what it is.
Maybe that's why.
I don't have mine yet.
No, I don't have mine yet either.
Okay, well, there we go.
All right, well, Manny, thank you for reminding us to check so that we could be disappointed.
Manny also wants to know what you're going to buy. What are you going to get? What are you going to get?
I don't know. I would like to save some of it. I'd like to think that I would save some of it for a while until some of this blows over, maybe.
Switch.
I don't know about doing the Switch Lite.
Switch.
I don't know.
Switch.
You're so bad on that. Switch. We'll see.
Oh, you're not getting one then.
No, it's not a no. It really is. It's an okay, we'll see.
No.
Like, we're not going home. We're not turning the car around. It's not even really a threat. It's just let's just see how things play out.
Nikki, when you're going to make a bad decision, you have a look. And this morning, I just don't see any traces of the look.
It's gone. Well, you've been gone for 2 days. You don't know how things changed.
You don't know what happened here on Monday.
You have no idea.
It was 10:30 a.m. Eastern when things began to fall apart. Sit down and let me tell you my story.
You missed it all. So that's why we have this look. I can't unsee these things.
It's just that you don't have it. It's gone.
I would like to, but I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like this would be the right time if I could get into a store. That's what I need to do in order to. I need to actually go see it and play around with it, but that's not also going to happen. So we'll find out what happens later.
All right.
Once we get it.
Erin just checked. She got hers.
Oh, come on, everybody. Now, this is good. This is going to be annoying if we don't. This is going to be bad. We're going to be some of the last ones because we're waiting on it. Because we keep checking. Thank God you don't have yours yet either.
Trump bucks. Trump bucks. Trump bucks. Trump bucks.
Everybody else, I'm so excited if you have yours. And then for all of us who don't yet, Angela said we got ours too. How about you stop texting us?
Everybody text and let us know because Nikki's going to be upset about it.
Can anybody text me if you haven't gotten it, or is it just Obie and I left?
We're the only two people in the United States of America who are taxpayers that have not received.
Their stimulus stuff.
Mike got his, Phil got his, Angela, Aaron, Jim. There you go. Woohoo!
Can you hear my hands?
Oh, I
hit
hear
the
him,
table.
Nikki.
It's great. I don't want to find out anymore.
You know what? Just believe.
You're right.
Just close your eyes.
Have faith.
You know what? Just close your eyes and believe, Nikki. And
we have a busy morning. I'm sure once we're done talking with Jared,
just believe,
and once
Nikki.
we're doing an after show with Mike Maines, I bet you it'll come after that. I don't want the distraction for it to come right now.
You know what, Nikki? You just have to believe. You have to believe that President Trump is going to be
Wouldn't miss us too.
He's going to be coming down that chimney. Okay? And he's going to have
everybody has that.
Tiffany didn't get hers.
Oh, Tiffany, there's someone. Ryan got his.
Shannon says, got my tax return, but no Trump bucks. Jerome hasn't gotten his. Guys, listen, I'm telling you, just close your eyes and believe. President Trump's coming down that chimney with a sack full of money for all the good and bad boys and girls. Whee!
Today's going to be a long day.
What are you talking about?
How this continues.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a very long day.
Lynn's is going to be using her Trump bucks to pay rent.
Nice.
Derek says, hey, it's Derek. I didn't get my Trump bucks either. Tiffany, I owe money this year, so I think I'm not getting any. I'm sorry for all of you. I feel that.
Just some of us, you don't want to think about it anymore. I'll look again. Let me look again. It's been a long time.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Yes, I'm back from vacation.
Yay, Obie's been on vacation the last 2 days doing nothing.
It was incredible. I went from the basement, to my bedroom.
To the kitchen?
I visited, I actually have 2 bathrooms. I tried each one.
Nice.
You just wouldn't believe the fun that was had.
It's nice when you can go to your own house, like it's an Airbnb, but it's your own place.
Well, I spent so little time there lately that it just seems fresh to me.
Well, it's sad because normally Jared comes in, but we'll do it this way since we're still physically distancing from him and others.
Oh, man, I'm not just physically distancing. I'm socially distancing myself from Jared.
So this is Jared. Jared's from, going back in the beginning, Graceful Closure, and then that became Euvoia, and now Jared is doing a Jared Marc.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Obie can't handle all the changes.
I asked myself the same thing.
I'm like,
I can't handle the changes either.
So Marc is your middle name, right?
It is my middle name. Yeah.
Okay, well then here's my question: is that you've gone through 2 band names and now you're using Jared Marc? When you start,
I still have my last name.
I still
have my last name.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
Band.
I was going to say, where do you go from here? Because if you do something else, you don't own yourself anymore. You're gone.
I know, but listen, we still got my last name, and we could also get into individual names like just the artist Jared.
That's true.
Does that guy exist?
That could work.
He might not.
He does now. I'll tell you that.
What would you say, though, still with Euvoia being in a group setting for Jared Marc, now this is just with you as the setting?
Yeah, and I think, if you listen to the songs, they just sound different. Jared Marc stuff, although there's a little bit of, a band feel to it just because that's kind of who I am, there's also, a song that I have coming out that has, a whole entire brass section, and it's kind of just an old 50s, 60s, single artist guy song, So it's just different. It's more of party fun, easy life songs.
Gotcha.
While Euvoia is deep into the gut of everything. So, or heart, maybe that's better.
That works.
You know what, dude? We're not thoracic surgeons. We can handle whatever sort of internal organ you want to go to. It's fine.
Don't forget to hop on to Facebook right now. If you join us at Radio U or Radio U Riot, you can watch Jared where he's at. He's at home, so you can see him there.
Actually, yeah, dude. Talk to us about your Is that like your home studio there?
Yeah.
Dude, you have 3 guitars? How many guitars do you need?
Well,
4?
one for each
There's a
day. There's a fourth one.
That's
So
that fourth band, just in case.
These are guitars. These are bass guitars.
Oh, different. I like the wall. He's got like
Thank you.
the wooden wall and then some soundproofing, so you can see his studio again if you hop on and watch.
Yeah, dude, you've got soundproofing, brick, wood, glass, all of the elements.
My house, when we moved back from Nashville, we bought this really old, this home was built in 1900s. And so it's all the walls are exposed brick, it's a 3-story home downtown Columbus. So it's all exposed brick. It's kind of wild. It's fun. It's actually a unique home.
Yeah,
it's a unique home.
It's real brick, where in some of our houses you're like, that's not real. It's just for looks.
It's real. I have to clean up the parts of the brick that fall off every now and then because it's so old. I'm like, I don't know how long this house is going to stay here, but for now it's great.
Well, it's like you have to cover the real brick with some new brick or something. You just have to cover it.
Yeah. It's slowly just falling off the wall.
Oh, no.
Dude, we could make a math equation for how it's falling apart. You sweep it up, we'll weigh it, then we weigh each individual brick. We multiply that by the number of bricks that you have and divide it by
the guitars in the room.
And pretty soon,
and that'll tell you how long it'll last.
We'll know how many years this guy has left on the house before he's out.
Oh, man. That's good. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah, just something for you to think about. Dude, so talk to us for real, though. You, with this Jared Marc stuff.
Is this Jared from Euvoia that you normally know him from? But
no.
Now on Radio U, you can hear his new song, What You Want, as Jared Marc. So M-A-R-C.
I can't accept that. This is only Jared from Jared Marc. Everything else is past.
Well, I want to make sure people recognize it and can still connect with him.
Jeez, Obi, come on,
Look, it's not my job to perpetuate your brand.
It is. You help him. You're supposed to help him.
Dude, no, seriously, though, we've got a new song that we're going to be playing from that.
Yes,
and
thank you.
You kind of broke it down, but what makes you want to do this over Euvoia or something else? Why go with Jared Marc?
So I turned 30 just a week and a half ago. And, bro, life is a lot different than it was when I started playing in bands when I was 18. So it's I don't know, man. I have a kid that's due in July. I have a toddler now. I have 3 Great Danes that are literally on the floor behind me.
Cool. Oh, they're so cute.
Why are they so well behaved?
They're so cute.
Well, it just depends on the day. Okay. And really it depends on how much food is involved.
That's true. Okay. In the hours. It's still sleeping time.
Right. So, but yeah, I started writing a bunch of songs that are more just fun, living in the moment, because that's kind of where I'm at. I toured, I literally have lived on a tour bus basically all last year. And so life's been just kind of crazy, very different. I'm coming home, working hard to be a good dad and a good husband and just present, but then I'm gone and everything is different. And I think I just needed music that I didn't have to think too much about, just good, fun, create and not have to worry about, is this deep enough? Is this hitting what someone's going through enough? And I'm I'm just gonna have a good time right now.
Right on.
That's kind of what the new songs are. It's just literally living in the moment, having a good time. The What You Want song is literally about just grabbing what you want. I can do what I want. This is my life. I'm just gonna have a good time. And I don't mean it in a rebellious way, for the record. It's not a rebellion. Yeah,
I do what I want.
But
that's why we like it so much.
Yeah, it's just man, life is crazy, and I just need to take it easy right now. Mm-hmm. So
I feel that. I feel that. So, this is Jared of Graceful Closure, Euvoia, and now Jared Marc. And dude, you know what? I'm always glad to see you, man.
We are. We're so
always
happy
Glad to see you.
For a lot of times when bands, they'll go do this and that, and we just like to follow along. And as long as you're still doing something, that's all that matters.
Dude, I got to tell
thank you. Appreciate it.
Nikki got me an AeroPress for Christmas.
No kidding.
I use it.
I got my mom one for Christmas.
Oh, so is it? Does that make it more or less cool? I'm not sure. You make coffee like my mom does.
I don't know if that helped it or hurt it.
It feels a little like a backhanded compliment. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, man.
You're ready to make coffee like moms do.
Call Jared's mom. Hey.
Does she have any tips for Obi?
My mom is cooler than most moms, so you should feel good.
I don't think this is still a compliment. I don't think we can recover from that.
I still don't feel good about it. Like, I still don't.
But you're excited, and
Your
yes, you have
mom uses
one.
AeroPress.
You should be excited about it. AeroPress are great. That's actually what we use like when touring. That's what we use the most because they're quick, easy to clean, they make a great cup of coffee.
They really do. Okay, good.
Anyone can use it.
Anyone can use it.
Easy,
including my mom.
Even though
They're a great transition. They're a great transition from like a normal pot cup of coffee to an AeroPress.
Well, I've gone from normal to French press. Now I'm on AeroPress. The next thing,
cold brew that's hot.
Ooh,
remember that? We did that for a while.
We've done that.
Yeah, see, he remembers. That's true.
I'm just ready for you to come in just chewing beans. So I expect that to be the new thing. Like, why are you guys even making anything?
Actually, have you had chocolate? Oh, I cannot talk. Chocolate covered espresso beans.
Yes,
have you had those?
Absolutely.
Those are actually really good.
Those are good.
Those are amazing.
It's true. So, I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab myself. Looks like your animals are stirring. I hear children screaming.
Is it time?
It's probably time for us to just move into some music.
Let's play the music.
And such.
I do. I hear the dogs.
Yeah. So
they're like shaking themselves.
I love
getting hair all over my studio.
Aww.
Well, dude, it's been super good to hang with you for real. And congratulations on living for 30 whole years.
Thanks.
And more music.
And all those life forms that are depending on you and this music.
They do, man. Tax
And remember,
deductibles.
if Jared has left anything to remember, when we hear this song, we can do what we want.
Do what I want.
That's it.
I make my coffee the way I want, which happens to be the same way as Mom does.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
We mentioned it last week here on the show that Apple TV has made 10 of their series free. So they have all these premium series. Well, by all, not that many.
They don't have that many.
But they have a few, and they have made several of them free. And you can either download the app. I know it's on Alexa-enabled devices. I think it's also on Roku, but then you also can watch it on an Apple device. And one of those series that they made free, quote unquote, was For All Mankind.
That was the space one that they kind of launched with, wasn't it?
Yes. Amazing.
Is it good?
I've watched 6 episodes. There's 10. So,
You're
I still have 4 to
almost done.
I know. I had no intention of getting caught up in it. In fact, when we talked about it last week, I was like, I'm not going to watch that.
Well, it kind of seemed like during your days off, you didn't want to have the pressure of trying to get through a show.
Right. And so Friday night, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and watch part of one episode. I just
got sucked in?
Totally sucked in. It was really towards the end of the first one. I was like, well, it's pretty good. I'll give a second one a try. And it was just a few minutes into the second episode that I was just glued. Mm-hmm. I was glued to it and have been. I mean, I didn't watch all of it. I took my time with it, but man, I couldn't. I don't feel like of course I could. I was going to say I couldn't overstate how much I've enjoyed it. Of course you can. You always can.
You're more than welcome to. They'd love to hear you do that.
It's called hyperbole. That's what it is.
Well, you found a new space show.
Oh, it's good.
But you got to finish. What's the other ones you have to finish?
Lost in Space.
And The Expanse.
Yeah, I haven't finished them yet.
The space one from Apple, that's older than those.
Yeah, it is, actually. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Is it pretty looking? I bet that it looks amazing.
It does. It's like Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, 4K, so much money they spent. And they've recreated it takes place in the 60s and 70s in America in this alternate timeline where Russia beats the United States to the moon by about 2 weeks, which is so funny because you're like, it's 2 weeks. No, the impact is enormous. And so it has that. Russia immediately sends a woman into space to the moon. That has a huge impact. Like, there are all these things that keep happening, and the space race continues. Like, the episode I was watching last night is about Apollo 24. And, we never made it past 17.
We didn't do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case you don't know, I'll tell you.
I'm glad you found a show.
Oh, I'm just stuck on it.
I'm glad you watched something that you've been wanting to watch. It's nice when you I don't know, check something off. You get through you're making your way through the list of shows.
I did that. I also watched Knives Out, which was fantastic.
Hey, you did?
It was fantastic.
Oh, man.
And I watched the second Jumanji movie.
What are you doing?
I'm catching up.
What are you doing?
I'm catching up.
Come on.
So, yeah. It was great.
They were all good? So Knives Out was good?
Knives Out is fantastic.
Every time I would talk to someone about it, they either amazingly loved it or they thought it was just, like, so stupid. Like, I couldn't get someone in between. People loved it or hated it.
I guess I can see why people would think it was stupid. It is very much like a throwback kind of thing where when you're watching it, you're just like, I expected it to be way less straightforward than it was.
Yeah.
Like, it's surprisingly straightforward. At least I thought it was. And
I get bummed out because Eric must have gone to the movies a couple of times around then because he has 2 cups that have the Knives Out. You know, when you go to the movie theater and it's like and I've been looking at him lately. I'm like, I remember going to the movies.
Oh, I actually tweeted
that
over the weekend. I was like, whenever we're allowed to go to the movies and then they release a movie, I'm excited about going to the movies.
Now, Andy texted, what was the name of the Apple Space Show again?
It's called For All Mankind. It's good.
Did you see Ryan's text? I think that's to someone else. You guys text everybody. You text us what you're supposed to be texting other people.
Nikki, he's talking to you.
No, I don't think so.
Ryan says, good morning, baby.
I think that's to someone else, Ryan.
No, I think he's texting you, Nikki.
Well, he's texting the show.
No, it's you.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You ready to yell at me?
Yeah, what are we yelling about?
On Friday, I spent a chunk of money.
You did?
Yep.
On what? What did you buy?
Why don't you guess? See if you can guess.
Computer stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, did you buy, it wouldn't be a new monitor, would it?
Nope.
New hard drive?
I bought an Oculus Rift on Friday, and I played...
Get out of the room right now.
I played VR all weekend.
Are you lying to me right now?
No, I'm not.
What are you doing?
I'll tell you. Let me tell you what happened.
I don't want to hear you.
You don't want to hear the story?
This is enabling if I hear you, and I'm happy for you.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I was like, you know what? Nikki's going to get a stupid Switch. I'll get something.
I didn't.
I know. I need you to buy one so I feel better.
Is that why you're pushing me so hard?
Maybe.
All right. Now, I want to track back. You've already had like 3 Oculus Rifts.
This is my 4th one. Okay.
You never played it when you had it.
I know. This weekend, I played it more than I probably did have all the other times that I've owned one.
You said that every time you got one for that weekend. Then you stopped playing it.
Well, we see where it goes from here, right?
We know where it goes from here. We don't need to see it.
Here's the beauty. They're so hard to get a hold of right now. I don't know if they've quit making them.
I think it's that.
I don't know what it is, but I checked on eBay or whatever, I could sell it for almost twice what I paid for it.
This is what we go through each time.
And what happens each time? I sell it for more than I paid for it.
We should go through the hassle of it. This is what's the quote? It's a vicious cycle.
It is. It is. I can't stop. I'm unhappy. And I'm unhappy because I eat.
You're doing this again.
It's happening, right? I played VR and I had a blast. And I actually thought, I was like, don't tell Nikki. She's just going to be mad at you.
No, I'm glad you were honest.
I'm just telling you.
But I am still disappointed.
I was at Micro Center doing unrelated business.
Sure.
And they had one and left. I have checked every time I've gone there, not because I was going to get one, but because I've been curious. Well, that new Half-Life Alyx game came out, and I really, really have wanted to check it out. And so I thought, you know what? Let's just see if they have one. And they had one, and I was like, just give it to me. You know what? Just give it to me.
You're already spending your stimulus then.
No, this was something else. I've been selling organs and plasma and stuff, so I sold my plasma money back.
You're back into VR?
Totally.
Oh, my
and you know
gosh.
what? I had so much fun. I had so much fun.
All right. I feel like we're in a meeting, where you have to...
Oh, you mean like a
support group meeting or something, and I don't know if I'm being supportive or what am I supposed to do?
As the old quote says, as a dog returns to its vomit.
That's what you're doing.
So Obadiah returns to virtual reality
well,
yet again.
I'm glad that you were happy. Let's say this again. I feel like I've said this in the past. We're glad that you're happy that you got it. We're glad that you enjoyed the time with virtual reality over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And we hope that you continue to enjoy your virtual reality.
And we want to let you know that after the show, there's a Mike Maines thing. And after that, you're going to need to come upstairs.
We just need to have a quick meeting with you. Oh, just a quick meeting.
Just come upstairs. No, don't be afraid. It's
fine.
We have somebody that wants to talk to you.
I need to get you like a program or a book or a...
Oh, is it a new game?
No, that's not it. A series or something about letting things go and not returning back to them.
I know. Bad.
All right. Well, it is cyclical as well. If you look back in your history, I'm sure we've done this at this time of the year.
It might be a spring thing because I was just like, man, I really want to do this. Here's what I think No, I'm not going to tell you guys, but it's fine.
Wow, you told us everything else.
No, I haven't. You don't even know.
I don't even know.
You don't even
for
know.
You.
Yep, it's good. So,
I'm in shock. You did it again.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Do you want to live longer? Probably. I mean, right now you're like, nah. But then when you're almost dead, you'll be like, I want to live longer.
That's exactly how that's going to go.
Think I'm lying? Get back to me in 60 years or whatever. So there's a study here from the National Institute on Aging. They worked together with the National Cancer Institute, and here's what they found. They tracked 5,000 adults for more than a decade. I don't have the exact number here. And they found that participants who walked 8,000 steps a day were half as likely to die as people who only walked 4,000 steps a day.
So we should try to get more steps in?
So essentially, the more you walk, the better,
more you know.
Ding, ding, ding. You will probably live longer.
I don't know.
Your chances of living longer are higher.
Sure. It's hard, though. Have you ever tracked your steps? And some days you're like, wow, I'm really not anywhere near it. And then other days you're like, oh, okay. We just don't walk around in our job as much.
If you'd tracked my steps, say, over the last 2 days.
Is it not a lot?
They would be like, We've never seen anyone that hasn't cracked 200 steps.
He's not alive. It's like he was just on vacation.
You should put a mirror under his nose, see if it fogs up.
Well, it's frustrating because we really do sit for so many hours a day.
Sure.
And it's weird if we just get up and walk the room. That's a bit unnerving, but yeah. I don't know.
I have taken to starting to take an evening walk.
Yeah.
Mostly, I don't even know why.
Calm the nerves, get you ready for bed.
Something like that. I find I have a lot of nervous energy in the evening, and so I've already worked.
You're like a puppy.
Yeah,
you got to go out for your walk before bed.
Yeah, totally. I definitely. I don't want to go for a run. I don't want to lift any weights, so I'll go for a walk, and I'll grab my headphones or something and just walk around the neighborhood, and that seems to at least help a little bit. I'm not getting. I doubt I get 8,000 steps a day. So.
I don't think so. I don't think we do.
Time to start training a replacement.
You have some years.
I've
You're
probably
fine.
got a few left.
No, we should try. I mean, I think if we just paid attention, our phones track them, and my phone is always...
iPhone tracks everything I do.
Our phones are always with us in our hands, so it's not like it's not noticing if we're going for a walk.
Yeah. It's a good call. So, all right, everybody, let's go walking today.
So we should get
bunch.
8,000 steps at least, because they normally say 10,000, but I think that's overreaching.
Maybe you say 10, but you hit 8.
How about we say 8, and we'll be happy if we get it?
You shoot for the stars, but if you don't make it, you at least land on the moon.
If we say 10,000, then you get mad and you don't continue because you get frustrated because you probably never, it's harder to meet those numbers.
Yeah.
In our industry, I'm sure other people who are walking around a lot, you can get that.
You can probably make it.
But we, again, are sitting for so much of the morning.
Nikki and I are like, I got to go to the kitchen. Oh, it's a lot.
We always stretch when we get up.
Oh, gosh.
It's
Always.
making some sort of noise like it hurts to get up.
Always. Wow,
Maybe we should walk around more.
You know what? On that note, let's get some more coffee.
You go on in there.
I'll get some more coffee. I'll be back, everybody.
Take your phone with you so it counts.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. We're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, let's talk about something about the coronavirus that we're not really talking about. And that is this great conspiracy theory I found that it is, in fact, that Bill Gates is behind it.
Oh, I've heard this one because of the
microchip?
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they're going to vaccinate you. And when you get the vaccines, you get a little microchip so they can track you.
What was it, the meme that I saw yesterday? Why should we look at him when he couldn't even keep viruses off of his...
That's a great one. I love it.
So why should we be looking at him to fix this?
That's a good one.
Yeah, someone had that.
I like that. So that's what they're saying is that the vaccine, once they develop it, will be something that the government uses to track us all over all the time.
There's a lot of conspiracies running around the coronavirus. So that's one of the many.
Well, you know that back in the day, that's what people thought about polio. Like when they came up with a polio vaccine, that vaccine was just a way for the government to catalog and track everyone.
No, I think that was when we all did those DNA testing and stuff. I think we cataloged ourselves.
No, that's so the Illuminati can track everybody.
Is that different? That's a different one.
Or maybe the latter days. I don't know. Like there's a bunch, depending on who you talk to.
I think there's
the Trilateral Commission.
The
Pentaveret.
There's a conspiracy for every single thing that you do.
You
just might not realize it.
No, in the X-Files movie, or was it in the TV show, they had a thing where it was like the polio vaccine was a way that the aliens were tracking everybody. Yeah. So
I try not to think about all that side of things.
Yeah.
I'm just over here trying to stay inside.
Yeah.
Just trying our best.
You know what's the thing that I think about with these these things? Like, okay,
conspiracy theories?
The government wants to microchip us all so they can track us. Why?
I swear. Did you? Why? Why do you want to do that?
I'm going to clean it up.
That's a TikTok that we like to watch. He just goes, why?
Why?
He just has a unique sound with it.
But no, seriously, like what? I'm not saying somebody somewhere is probably like, I will bend mankind to my will. But even for them, I'm just like, well, what for? Like, what are you going to...
You're not supposed to be so casual about it. You're supposed to be mad.
Right. Like, you want to bend... What do you want everybody to do for you? Like, what do you want? Do you want a bunch of gold? Do you want, you want people to bow down to your will? Like, what do you want?
Tell you what, if you want to text Obi all of the things that maybe you believe, feel free to send it to him.
I mean, sure, probably something.
Well, it's hard because sometimes when you hear the conspiracy theories, you're like, well, that really sounds like it could be possible, doesn't it? And you don't want to go into that, though. That is a deep hole to get into.
Oh, no, you should spend your day on that. In fact, you know what? You're locked in your house all alone. You should fire up YouTube and take a look.
That is dangerous. You will not come out of this stay-at-home time the same.
Let me tell you what. You know what? You're just afraid of the truth, aren't you?
I know. That's what they always say. Let's just plan on today.
The MSM is trying to keep you stupid.
We're going to hop onto Facebook. Fool you, we already are. No. We're going to hop onto Facebook. We're going to do an after show with Mike Maines. That could take most of the day. That's the only goal we have for today.
They got fluoride in your water to keep you docile, like a cow. That's all you are. Is
stop
a big
bringing
cow.
up all the things. What?
See? Moo?
The Riot. Radio U.
You know, now that I figured this out, I'm nowhere near as interested in it.
Why?
I didn't realize that Marie Kondo had a new book out, and so here I am. I'm going to give free publicity to the stupid book.
Why? It's not a stupid book. I like her stuff.
Okay, Nikki, here we go. Joy at Work. See, it's a lie.
Oh, it works at here.
Organizing your professional life.
Even though now it's blurred because most people are working at home.
You're working from home.
Which is where the problem started in the first place with all of her first cleanup.
Apparently, what this is you actually, she started, her job was a consultancy where she would help high-powered executives with their stress levels, and that was tidying up their desk.
To kind of get everything organized.
Mm-hmm. So she says that, the same principles that have made our lives so much better at home, we can actually go ahead and apply those to our workspace.
Now, does it really talk about just a physical workspace? Because for us, so much of our clutter is in a digital world.
Okay, well, let me tell you what I got here.
So what is she doing?
I don't see anything here about digital.
I need a little with that.
Let me ask you some questions. 1, are you feeling positive about working here right now?
Yes.
Okay. 2, does working at this desk every day spark joy for you?
Which desk? Riot desk or my normal desk?
Let's say normal desk.
Normal desk, yes.
Oh, was the answer different for Riot desk?
No.
I think we all know. 3, are you sure that you're giving full scope to your creativity?
Sure, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I don't like her questions.
Okay, and 4, do you really want to come back to this tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go. You know what? You're fine.
Everybody doesn't want to go to work. We all still feel that way, but it's a normal one.
I mean, it was a lot easier. I was amazed at how easy life was not coming to work.
Oh, because you were off the last 2 days?
I was amazed. I was just like, man, I feel so good and positive.
You still are happy to go to work and you appreciate that, but of course people would rather have a day where they don't have to.
Here's my thing about condoing is that condoing feels like the latest in a long line of that friend that you have on social media that's finally found the thing that has made her happy, but she was trying to get you to buy essential oils, then she was condoing, so she's completely emptied out everything that she's ever owned, but now she's back on essential oils.
Sure.
She's like, listen, I'm having an online essential oil party, so we're all going to get together, and if anybody's interested in doing their own party, let me know, and if I can get you 20% off.
Oh.
Right, and if you throw your own party, though, you get a free essential oil with a non-essential oil.
I like her books. If you watch the Netflix show from Marie Kondo, I don't think it was done as well as it could have been.
Okay.
Because you should have gone bigger. If you ever see the show Hoarders, it should have been more like that.
No, Nikki.
Less friendly, but she's a very friendly personality.
So what, do you need somebody who was real intense?
Yeah, they needed people with bigger problems.
Somebody to come in and play Marie Kondo on TV.
Yeah, and she'd give them a week or two, a couple of weeks to get it together. You're no, you don't give them any options. You get in there and you fix it with some people. But
so, Nikki,
I liked
you would have been great for that.
Her books are super good. If you do have a problem with organization, it's really good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So you think it's really good because you're already highly organized.
I'm already highly organized, so I can't get as much out of it. But I like her approach.
Okay. All right.
So if you are disorganized at work, now there's that.
Yeah. Well, I just figure maybe this is the answer to me getting everybody back to work because I bought a planner. We shut the whole country down. All right. Maybe
really
I buy.
Did. You bought a daily planner right before the stay-at-home stuff.
Yeah.
And now there's nothing that needs to be put in the planner.
To plan.
I love that.
So maybe I'll buy this condo book and we'll all be back to work.
Everybody will go back to normal if you don't mind.
We found a way to cure everyone. We're fine.
You really did start it all.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I will tell you by now, we normally would have had our spring fundraiser, and we have not. And if you're like, yeah, but then how are you guys doing the thing? Well, you are stumbling upon one of the issues we face here. So I will tell you that if you're able to donate to RadioU and you would like to, you can help keep us commercial free doing what we do. RadioU.com/donate. Not the best time for everybody, and we totally get that.
So we understand if it's not the right time for you, but if you normally were a donator during our spring or our fall fundraiser, the spring one, we're figuring that all out, but you still can help support if that's something that you can help to do to keep the music going on the air.
Nikki, let's talk about essential business.
Yeah.
If you had to choose an essential business, what would you put towards the top?
Of what is essential right now?
Yeah, what is an essential business to
Probably
you?
medical stuff. No, is that not it? RadioU?
Well, I mean,
We are essential.
yeah, sure.
We fall under that.
Anything else you want to put up there?
Well, I mean, bank stuff? No.
I guess.
Money and medicine. The M's.
I guess.
Money, medicine, and music.
The thing that I find myself thinking is my go-to immediately is the WWE.
Is that it? Well, I know they're
World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I just find myself that in these trying times, these troubled times,
that they're essential.
yeah, I need to see me some WWE Raw.
I don't understand
and I can't
that.
take a rerun.
If sports stuff had to all be postponed and canceled, why did that not work for that?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this: WWE, according to Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida,
I can see that.
Yes.
Is that essential?
Essential.
But you still can't have crowds with it, right?
No, I think
so. It'd just be essential crew running, not the full thing.
As I understand it, they are going to be recording episodes. Thanks to you for that text message. They are going to be recording episodes at the Performance Center in Orlando, which is like their practice facility.
Gotcha.
I believe. I don't know. Maybe they do actual shows there, but I know this, that it would be pre-taped. That's what they did with WrestleMania.
Why can't the UFC stuff go and use their stuff then?
The UFC needs an island where they can
were
punch
looking
people.
for that, but the UFC was going to go literally and do fights on a plot of land that wouldn't have the same rules as the other parts of our country.
So they could risk disease and dismemberment outside of American territorial waters.
Yeah, outside of our stay-at-homes. But, that'd be run on ABC or ESPN, which is owned by Disney, and Disney said no go on that.
They were like, that's a negative.
But for wrestling, I mean, it runs on their own stuff, so they don't have anybody else above them telling them no, unless that would have been our government. So
there's been who was it that they say might buy the WWE? It's always circulating. Is it Disney? We don't need a theme park of that.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. That doesn't feel right. I'm not sure.
There's another company that's always everyone always says oh, they're going to get bought by these people.
But I know everybody really wanted the UFC stuff, so why can't they just work it out with that?
Because, Nikki, it's not as important.
It's not as important. It's not as essential. That's the word you're looking for.
That's right, Nikki. They don't call them, voluntary oils. They're essential.
David said, I never wanted WWE, quarantine or no.
You want it now.
It's hard. I mean, you want entertainment to keep people happy, to keep them staying at home.
Yeah.
So it is a catch. Like, sports would be nice about now if you could figure out a way to make sure the athletes were safe and there was no one watching except at home. Because eventually the things we're watching at home, they're not filming right now, and we're going to run out. So
I hear what you're saying.
You got to have something eventually.
I hear what you're saying, but if you...
I don't think wrestling is it, though.
If you run out of stuff to watch, it is more of a I have nothing to wear with a closet full of clothes circumstance. Because if we started watching TV now, we wouldn't be done until like 2035.
No, meaning the current shows that we're supposed to be filming right now
I know.
would not have any new episodes at a certain point because those just stop at that.
You just reach back and find something new.
You go back and find a new show.
All right. Well, that's where we're at. WWE, you're not going to be hurting for that content, Nikki.
Because it's essential and you'll get something from them.
It's like the riot. You have to have it. And don't give me no reruns. I want the real deal.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
Have you found people, friends, family, I don't know, on various social medias or to your face, at a distance, of course, saying things like, I can't believe these people aren't social distancing. We all gonna die. You hear, some frustrated people.
Sure.
I've got this article here in Bloomberg that says roughly 90% of the United States, 90% is doing social distancing and in most cases staying at home.
You think that's that high? I don't know. That feels high.
That's what That's what it says.
See, sometimes, we stay inside outside of work, like we come in from work, but then we stay outside. But every so often I like to go just for a drive. You don't really go in anywhere.
Well,
but
because you got nothing else to do.
It kind of breaks the tension at home. Like you just go outside and take a little trip around. And I see a lot of people that are not as far apart as they should. Now, if you're isolating with someone, well, then that's different. You can be as close as you want because, you don't need to distance yourself away from them.
Right. The other thing I've seen is like social groups that are like, all right, we're not like we're going to distance, but not outside of this, but outside of this group.
Yeah.
So like
they can still get together, but they don't go anywhere else past that point.
So like these people I know, they're neighbors and they like let their kids play with each other.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we're social distancing, but our two houses, we're our own little bubble.
Well, I think people were having problems coming out of Easter of families and people that got together that maybe should not have.
Right. Well, according to this, 90%, Nikki. It says that nope. Okay, now the thing about the article is, I know what you're thinking. It's propaganda. It's to make you feel comfortable.
I think it's optimistic. I think that's optimistic of them.
No, their point is actually like, we can't believe so many people are doing this. That's the tone of the Bloomberg article.
Have they gone to the parks? Have they seen everybody?
Man, you know what though? Like I've been going to the park and
were you there on a weekend?
No.
I drove past one.
It was a weekday.
It was like whoosh. Everybody was there.
Okay.
But maybe if they still count, if you're being far enough away from each other while you're actually there, then that's one thing.
And I will say this, and again, completely anecdotal. I do feel like the longer this goes on, the fewer cars are on the road during my morning commute.
That I'll agree with.
This morning, I think I saw like 4 people and 1 runner. And I just started thinking like, is anybody? Hello?
Well, I think people were able to move into working from home over the last couple of weeks.
But see, that's what they're saying. 90%. Nikki, I believe everything I read on the internet.
Do you?
And I'm reading this on the internet now, so it has to be true.
So I tweeted yesterday, they had a birthday party in our neighborhood, and so someone did the parade of car stuff that go through where you honk.
Yeah, okay.
And everybody's hanging outside their cars. And I think a police officer was going through or a fire truck or something as well. And it was that moment of this quarantine time that I almost lost it. I was going to go outside and yell out my door. It was something about it. It caused my dogs just to go crazy. And it was just like, can we stop?
So, okay. Were you angry at them for doing it? Or were you angry at the quarantine?
I was angry at the noise that they were doing it because they kept going around the neighborhood several times.
Oh.
And I didn't think we needed to do that.
If you don't have that many cars, in order to make it seem like there's more, you have to keep going.
That could be it. But that's the moment when I thought, this is it. She's going to lose it.
So, Nikki, when did you know you were done?
That was the moment where I was done with this.
It was April 14th at approximately 2:30 p.m.
But, just cars full of people. And I guess it's okay if they're coming from the same place.
Yeah. All right. Well, they keep talking about how we're all going to come out of this different. We're going to come out different.
I could see that from yesterday. I can honestly see maybe something wasn't right.
Nikki's still in it. She's different, guys.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
So this is a word that I didn't know I needed, but we need it, Nikki. Doom scrolling.
Ooh, for our, Instagram or what is it? Well, I know scrolling.
Okay, doom scrolling is when you are staying up late and you just keep scrolling through bad news.
Oh, bad news?
Yeah, so it's not just any scrolling. It has to be bad news. So it's doom, like doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Scrolling.
But it's not like you're doomed to be tired the next day because you're still scrolling through stuff?
No.
It's just looking through bad news?
No, there is Zoom. Wait, no, that's different. So a couple of other words that have come out of this. Doom scrolling is my favorite. There's the quarantini.
Yeah.
Which is y'all getting drunk on them quarantine drinks.
Seen a lot with that. You can just use soda too if you want.
You know what I did to celebrate this weekend?
What'd you do?
I got myself a little grenadine.
Did you?
I did.
Put a little splash in something?
A little splash of grenadine in my Diet Dr. Pepper.
It's special occasions.
Special occasions only. Mm-hmm. And then the other one that was new was Zoom bombing. which is when you crash somebody's
Crashes
Zoom
meeting,
call.
yeah.
Which, you know, how bored are we that we're like, you guys are having a meeting? I'm coming.
People are bored.
People are bored.
People
I know.
are absolutely bored.
I get it. Here's what I thought was funny is I was talking to a friend of mine who she seems to be desperate for companionship. And then they had like some of her friends were like, hey, we're going to do that Netflix hangout thing where we all time. She's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Well, you only think you miss people.
Well, why not? Like, don't you? No, I'm not. I'm out. Like, don't you miss people? I don't know. Okay.
I think that's how we always are. That's like you want to go out and do something on the weekend, but then when the weekend rolls around, you're like, I'd just rather not.
Just whatever.
So that's our new terms that we're
doom scrolling, Nikki.
Learning from that.
I feel like that's what Riot Prep is these days. It's doom scrolling.
I know we try to find a balance of just silly
like
stories for you compared
to talk about.
Virus stories, and it's very hard to find one that does not include details on Corona stuff.
That's all there is. But it's fine. We're not just doom scrolling over here.
No, not at all.
Every once in a while, we find a good TikTok. But we can't really share those exactly. So then we end up telling you about how funny it is, and it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
They got fluoride in your water to keep you docile, like a cow.